Welcome everyone. This is our 10th annual Super Bowl of Wines here at Paradise Springs, a comparative tasting of our wines from Virginia with other counterparts from around the world. I'm Kirk Wiles, one of the CEO and founders here at Paradise Springs Winery.
I'm Rob Cox, the Director of Winemaking here at Paradise Springs.
And we're excited to have you. This is a fun tasting that we do every year for the last 10 years, and really it's to show that not only Paradise Springs wines but Virginia wines can compete with other wines around the world from different regions of similar price points, similar varietals, and similar accessibility. So sit back and enjoy the first tasting. We have the first up with 1A and 1B. Go ahead and taste both of these wines, and if you want to hit pause on the video, go ahead and do that now, and we'll be back and taste these wines and reveal them with you for the first comparative.
All right, welcome back. We're going to get started with tasting both 1A and 1B. What we're doing is called a comparative blind tasting. Blind because we don't know what the wines are beforehand, which takes out any of the subjectiveness of knowing which wines are from which regions and what varieties. And it's comparative because we're comparing, like Kirk said earlier, we're comparing our wine against a colleague wine, a protege wine from somewhere else in the world that's comparative to it. So Kirk, let's go ahead and try 1A and see if we can figure out which wine's what. I mean, I have a little bit of a cheat sheet. I did make half the wines in this. So.
I mean, look at it. It's got a little tint of color on it.
Yeah.
I see some bubbles in there as well.
So it's got fizz. I mean, that really clues this one off to what this one can be as far as what type of wine it is. It's definitely a sparkling wine.
It's pretty dry to me. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, it's on the drier side. I would say from my palate that it does have a little bit of a dosage. Dosage is a little bit of sweetness that you add in when you disgorge the wine and get it ready to put a cork and a muzzle on it. This kind of, that feature of this and the color is kind of tipping me off to which wine I think this is between the two. So let's go ahead and try 1B.
1B. So you get a little bit of a darker color here than the first, but still kind of that light pink salmon-y.
Yeah, definitely on that paler profile, not a real dark rosé on this one. You're getting the fizz again on this one, so we're in the sparkling department on this one. I think this one has a little bit more going on aromatically than the first one. I think the first one was a little bit softer on the palate for me. This one is a little bit fresher on the palate, a little more acidity, a more livelier on it for me.
Definitely a little more acidity on this.
I like that in sparkling. I don't mind the lusher style, but especially for a rosé sparkling like this, I like it to be very bright and fresh and fruit forward.
So what do you guys think? You should write down what is your favorite of the two, not knowing these. Also take a guess, what type of wine this is, style, varietal, and then which do you think is the Paradise Springs wine? So take those notes down, and what do you think? Should we reveal which is which?
Yeah, let's do it. I have my druthers on what's what. So.
All right, I'm gonna hold 1A, and you're gonna hold 1B.
Okay.
And we're gonna bring them up right here. So you guys ready? Our first reveal. Dun, dun. Here we go. Voila! What do we got? So we got the Paradise Springs is 1B.
The Gruet.
So 1A is the Gruet. It is a Brut sparkling rosé.
Just like the Après Rosé is at Paradise Springs. That's one of the reasons we picked this wine to go up against ours. It's kind of made in a similar style. This is actually from a winery in New Mexico. A lot of people aren't thinking of wine when they think of New Mexico. But they're a big producer. They get a lot of respect, good scores for these wines. They're at a good price point. They're easily available in grocery stores, any wine shops. So that's another reason that we kind of went with this one too to compare against ours, because if you like it and something that you want to have access to, it's easily to get your hands on this sparkling wine. So.
And 1B is our wine, our Après Rosé, which is our brand new Method Champenoise sparkling rosé here at Paradise Springs. We just released this actually within the last month, so we've been kind of featuring it through some flights, and it's a nice addition to have sparkling back here. I mean, Rob, you want to tell them about the history of the sparkling that we've kind of had?
Yeah, we've always had a sparkling on and off throughout the years. Our first sparklings, for some of you that have been around at Paradise Springs for a while, we knew we had the regular Epres, which was a Viognier sparkling. And we kind of phased that program out a few years ago. And then we brought some vintage sparklings that we acquired from an estate sale, and we kind of introduced those. And they were fun because they had a lot of age on them. But then we really went a few years without a sparkling in our portfolio, and it was kind of like the one wine that we had been lacking. We kind of pride ourselves in having a broad range of wines and a full spectrum across our wine portfolio, whether it's white, red, light-bodied, heavy-bodied, dry, sweet, what have you. But we hadn't had a sparkling for some time, so it takes a few years once you make the decision to make a sparkling to get it in the pipeline, and we finally have it, and we're continuing to do this program. I don't see this program going away. This particular vintage that we just finished a few months back, we added a second sparkling. So besides our Après Rosé, we'll actually have a Blanc de Blanc that's 100% Chardonnay, where this one is 95% Chardonnay and 5% Merlot, and that's where we're getting this beautiful red color from, is that Merlot that's in this one.
No, it's a beautiful wine. They're both beautiful wines, so hopefully you enjoyed those. Who knows if you picked the Paradise Springs one or not, but again, this is supposed to be fun, interactive, and really just to show that our wines can compete with other regions on a quality standpoint. So if you want to go ahead and hit pause on your video, we will be back with our second comparative tasting. If you want to go ahead and start tasting those two wines, we'll come back with the same format here, kind of talking about it and then doing the reveal. So go ahead and hit pause, and we'll see you in a second. All right, welcome back. We are about 1/4 way through the big game here. We just hit a big, pass down the middle, and we're driving. And we've got our second comparative here. So hopefully you guys have tasted these wines already. And what do we got in front of us? I mean, I see obviously a white wine in the glass, and I don't know. Why don't we get tasted on 1A and see what we got?
Let's dive in.
Dive right down the middle.
So if you've been to Paradise Springs, you kind of know what our white wine lineup is. So that's going to kind of help you get through to narrow it down to a few possibilities of what this wine could be. I mean, smelling it kind of really gives this one away on me. I'm going to try a little taste here.
I get a little oak on the palate here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that could clue you into maybe what it is. It kind of, for me, I understand what we do on the oak regiment, but there's a vast variety of white varietals that can see oak, and so stylistically, got to keep that in mind. Yeah,
this is a nice, lush, rounder style wine, really pillowy on the palate, really fills your whole mouth up, a lot of volume on this wine. I'm going to go ahead and dive into...
Yeah, let's try 1B. And again, feel free to go back and forth on these wines, tasting them.
I mean, good fruit on this one too, but this one's definitely got a little brighter, a little more acidity. It's a little more fresher.
Definitely.
Got a little more zip to it.
A little more fruit kind of shining through.
Yeah. Well, I think the acidity of this wine really helps pick this one up, which helps, doing these blind helps clue me into what the possibilities of these two are. But they're both interesting styles, knowing that these are the same variety.
So again, what do you think? What varietal do you think this is? Which do you like better? And which one is the Paradise Springs? Rob, what do you think? You ready to reveal?
Yeah, let's do it.
So if you want to see what it is, dun, 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 we've got Chardonnay. So wine 1A, actually the Paradise Springs wine is 1B, and as a comparative for 1A, we have Frank Family Vineyards Chardonnay from Napa Valley. Just to talk a little bit about Frank Family, it's actually a winery we're pretty connected to. We have some good friends there over the year. They're a family-run winery in Napa that we've really related to kind of as a brother-sister winery of sending people to over the years and sharing wines, and one of our favorite wineries out of Napa. So this is a big time Super Bowl competition that we're up against, but all in the family. It's in good fun. So. But in 1B, we have our Paradise Springs. So Rob, you want to tell them a little bit about our Chardonnay and how we do this?
For those who are familiar, if you're not, it's barrel fermented, barrel aged, all in French oak. That's the similarity between these two wines. I knew Frank Family. I knew the Todd Graff, the winemaker. I know they're using all French oak there too, like we are here for all of our vinifera wines. So that was kind of the thinking of putting these two wines together. This definitely has that more lush, rounder Napa-esque feel, where they're getting their fruit a little bit riper, and ours definitely has that more European or Eurocentric feel, where we're getting a little bit more acid, a little more zing that really makes this wine a little bit more fresh and lively on your palate. Where this one, they're both great. They, there's people that prefer each style. I love the wines at Frank Family. They do a great job. They still, even though they're powerful wines, they still have a touch of finesse to them and polish to them, which I admire and try and mirror, in our winemaking here at Paradise Springs. So we hope you enjoy these too.
Yeah, definitely. On the Frank Family, I get a lot more, buttery components to it, and ours, more fruit, more acidity, more bright. So, again, stylistically, it's what you like, and hopefully, you see these are two great examples of Chardonnay that Virginia can stand up, with Napa Valley and how we produce Chardonnay here in the state. And so, really, it's an honor to put this wine in the comparison. So, again, it's all about what you like. And what we're doing here in Virginia.
Yeah, whether it's our Reserve Chardonnay or the Frank Family, we just, for those who appreciate Chardonnay, I think you'll both enjoy both of these styles.
Definitely.
So.
And shout out extra bonus points if you know who Dennis was from Frank Family. So if you know, you know. But all right, Rob, what do we got? Let's go ahead and hit pause on that video, and we're going to be right back with our third comparison. This game's getting close, and it's down to the wire. So go ahead and hit pause. We'll be right back with you.
All right, everybody, welcome back. It's the 2-minute warning. The home team's got the ball, and we're driving to the finish line.
Let's go.
So let's get into these two wines. So as you can tell by the color, we've shifted into some reds here, Kirk. Let's go ahead and try 3A.
So 3A.
Oh yeah, a lot of dark fruit on the nose on this one. Really darker, deeper, inkier color on this wine.
Ooh, it's a big wine.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of tannins to that.
Yeah, a lot of grip, as I like to say, a lot of structure. Really fills your mouth out. I'm going to go ahead and try 3B.
Yep.
Good nose on this one too. Both of these are really concentrated, big, powerful wines.
Big, powerful reds.
A lot of tannins
on them. A lot of oak on that 3B.
Yeah.
So again, what do you think? What do you think the varietal is? Which one do you like better? And which one do you think is the Paradise Springs wine?
Yeah, I think both of these wines are very, very close. I think there's a difference in oak on these two that is maybe the separator between you off. I had to guess on which one you might lean towards. A lot of the other characteristics in these wines are very same. The acid level, the amount of black fruits, dark fruits in these wines are very, very close, and it's kind of fun with two wines like this going neck and neck at the wire as we finish off the big game here. On which one you are going to pick is your favorite. So.
All right, we're down to the last play. You ready for the reveal? All right, if you're ready for the reveal, here we go. 3A and B. We have 3A is the Paradise Springs Tannat, and 3B is
the Artesana, which is a Uruguayan Tannat. Tannat's true home is in the Mataran over near the Pyrenees Mountains, where France and Spain meet. For those who are not familiar with a lot of the background on that variety. But Uruguay has adopted Tannat as their variety, just like the Argentinians did with Malbec about 20, 25 years ago. It was an easy go-to for me when we wanted to do a Tannat in this comparative tasting, and it's something that's not usually in our lineup, Tannat, so it's kind of fun to throw this in for you guys to try. It was fun to go and figure out one from Uruguay that we could put up against ours. That would be a fun comparison we thought for you guys to try. So.
Yeah, and a lot of the future of red wine in Virginia could be with the Tannat varietal. It's really up and coming. More people are planting it. It's becoming more widely accepted in a lot of blends as components, but as a standalone. Smithsonian recently did a tasting with this Tannat from us in it as well. It's a varietal that we're pretty proud of here, and we have a bunch of wines with Tannat in it, including our PBT blend. Some Tannat goes into some of our bigger red blends. I think some of the Moment is going to have some of it soon.
Spoiler alert on that one. So
giving you some inside secrets, but
pull the curtain back.
Absolutely. But this has been fun. I mean, all these wines, they again, Rob and I have not actually tasted these comparisons against our wines going into this. So this is the first time we've done this as well. So it's not like we stack the deck against us or for us at all. So again, it all comes down to palate preference, and it's what you guys like and what you guys think. But again, even if we didn't win this for you, I think the point is to show that we at Paradise Springs in Virginia can make wines that compete with other varietals from around the world, and that's really what it's all about.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Kirk said it best. You might not like ours as much, but you'll hopefully, come out with this with appreciation for, what we're doing in Paradise Springs, what Virginia's doing, and, and it's kind of why we picked the different wines we picked to kind of showcase, Chardonnay is done everywhere. And we went up against Napa, which everybody thinks of the USA, they think of Napa first for wine. Obscure varieties like tonight, we went to some obscure place for winemaking. A lot of people don't think about Uruguay.
Yep.
So
we're not afraid of Tom Brady.
We hope you all, enjoyed this. It'll be fun to see, when the numbers come in on this and see how we stack. So
yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Enjoy the big game. Again, all of these Paradise Springs wines are available here today for purchase for you. So take some home for the big game here on Sunday. And, I don't know who you got. Who you got, Rob? Bucks or Chiefs?
I have the Chiefs.
Yeah, I got to go Chiefs, too.
Yeah,
Mahomes is up and coming.
I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, but I think, the Chiefs always seem the way to kind of pull the game out at the end. So
got to respect what Brady's done over the year. But
it's hard to bet against him.
Hard to bet against him. And this should be a good game, and I think that's what we're all rooting for. Hopefully, like this game today was good. So, again, Rob, you got anything else to do?
No.
Cheers.
Cheers and
absolutely
enjoy.
Thank you guys for joining us for our 10th annual Super Bowl. And keep checking back in. We got a lot of fun stuff upcoming with Valentine's Day next weekend. It's a fun chocolate and wine pairing. And as we come out of this pandemic, we'll keep some of this stuff going. But we got a lot of fun things in store for you for the rest of the year. So cheers, enjoy the game, and thanks for being a part of Paradise.